All right, welcome back to Sunday Best. We are on KTN and BTV. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ndiema. We're having a conversation about purpose, all right? And so we've discussed a few items right there. What is purpose? How do I get to know that I have purpose? And we've had these conversations in many other places. I am glad that the route is a bit different, and we're using experiences as well. Of course, we have Kigwa Stephen, who's helping us, dissect it, as well as BennyHinn Walubengo, who's a young leader, and they have discovered their purposes, and they are living their purposes at a young age, a bit more experience. Yes, it's happening. So Stephen, so here I am. I have discovered my purpose, and I know that this is what I was meant to do. Sometimes accidentally, like for me, I was meant to be a teacher. I am a teacher, yes, still. But I just bumped into, into a room, and purpose was born right there through someone's connection. So I've discovered them, and I'm liking it. So what do I do after I have discovered that this is my direction?
Okay, let me begin right there when you talk about you bump into somebody in a room. To be a bit critical, you actually didn't bump into somebody. God frustrated that you
I like it. It was not an accident.
It wasn't an accident. It
Wow.
was actually not an accident. There is nothing that really happened, includes the falling of a blade of a grass that God is not even aware. So you meeting somebody was God's ordained way of making you see yourself in a different way. Anyway, going back to your question on you have discovered purpose. First thing, the moment you discover purpose, now you have a vision. Now you get a vision about what you want to be in life. Because vision is about foresight, what is going to happen to you. But it's also about insight. That's in a voice that speaks to you, telling you, now follow this. Isaiah talks about as you walk, you hear a voice behind you telling you, this done
There's
right.
a way.
But I need to mention something. Even when you discover purpose, you don't know every detail about your purpose. God reveals to you bits by bit. You don't know even myself. I know my purpose, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing in this dimension next year or 5 years to come. God reveals to you with time. If He revealed everything to you and He reveals to you the trouble that you have to go through, you'll be scared. So, okay, you've discovered your purpose, you have a vision now. Now you need to plan. You need to begin to think 5 major questions also. I call them 5 questions on how to make a plan. Because you need to prepare yourself. You need to prepare. And one of the things that I think BennyHinn has really talked about is making sure that you arm yourself with the right tools, with knowledge, with, gain understanding, get to learn, build capacity. If you're a speaker, you cannot be called to speak to people and you have nothing to tell them. That's the time to lock yourself up in the room and read. When I was actually starting my job, what I do, I used to lock myself in the room until my wife was complaining, you read too much. She would tell me, you read too much, you have no time for us. But I used to tell her, you see, if I'm going to be called to speak to people, I have to have the knowledge. And knowledge cannot be, I can't get the knowledge through osmosis. Yes,
no diffusion. It does not happen like that.
So preparation is key.
Right.
And that is exactly what he was talking about. Champions are made in the gym, because that's where people don't see you there. People don't see you preparing. People don't see you laboring. They see you being awarded and they say, wow, this guy is so lucky. This guy is so blessed. Look at him. But they don't know the pain.
Oh, yes.
They don't know the sacrifice. They don't know how many times you actually almost gave up. When I meet with people, they ask me, have you ever felt like giving up? I said, oh my God, many times. I felt like, I remember one time I going home and I told my wife, I quit what I'm doing. I don't want to do it again.
Wow.
And why? It's because I had done a fantastic presentation one time and I got a big contract to do a big job somewhere, and all of a sudden after 1 week I was told, no, we decided. And I felt so discouraged, So there's a lot of pain that may come with that, a lot of endurance, a lot of testing, because God has to make sure that you have the character to sustain you with the purpose that He has put in you. Character is built through hardship and difficulties and challenges in life.
Wow.
It's not just built, just like that. So you go through these things. Preparation is important.
Preparation is very key. Omanyala, I mean, is a sensation right now. He says he practices 6 hours, I think 9 hours every day. So he has 3 sessions, and each session is about 3 hours. What we see is 10 seconds. For us, it's the 10 seconds of the fame and the joy and the jubilation. We never think about the 9 hours he does every single day, probably 6 days a week. So preparation, capacity.
I actually say that you don't win there at the ring. You actually, that's not where the game is won. It's won where nobody
closet.
Nobody sees what you're doing.
Right.
I tell people, you don't know how many hours I spent reading. You don't know how many hours I spent just perusing things, reading, looking at things.
Right.
So when you see someone on stage, you say, wow, nice delivery. And you think it just came like
Yeah. It didn't just come like that.
Actually, they say that, there's this narrative that is going on about soft life.
Yes, soft life.
What I understand is that when an egg breaks from inside, life begins. When an egg breaks from outside, life dies. Breaking from inside is what he's saying about the pain. And success is divided into 3 segments. The first segment is preparation, the second one is manifestation, and the third one is elevation.
Right.
Now, preparation it's the one that takes the longest, where nobody is seeing you. And at the preparation stage, it's very critical. That's where now you need God more than anything else.
Right.
More than anything else. Because it's only God who can be able to cheer you up. Even yourself, at some point, you can fail at the preparation stage.
Right.
Because you see, you're not getting speaking engagements. I remember when I was in high school, in Form 3, Form 4, and I did my form for the first time. Because of learning into so many schools, my ground wasn't okay. I scored a C-. I had to go back to school.
Wow.
So I went back to repeat. And I remember during the school holidays, I would come, then I'm from the library, I'm reading, and then I'm like looking for a speaking engagement, going into people inboxes. And Pastor T came and told me, you know what, come. Told me, don't do that.
Relax.
You do this, just build.
Yeah.
Just build. You don't have to look for people.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, why are people not calling me? And he was telling me, you don't focus on why are people not calling you. Are you really prepared? If right now you're to be called and told, now, give a speech 3 hours, will you give it? He told me, you put in the work. And that's why now it's also good to have a mentor.
And it's a big challenge with our generation.
Yes.
Because I've discovered purpose, tomorrow I want to be on stage and in a boardroom. It doesn't happen.
It's something that takes a lot of preparation. And for like 1.5 years, even during COVID, I was quiet, I disappeared. And guys were like, umse aliacha kubonga. I'm telling you, that is the time I read books. There's a mentor of mine who asked me, I went and did a speaking engagement somewhere, and he asked me, do you want me to pay you or what do you want? And I said, I just want you to buy for me 34 books.
What?
So we walked to Prestige Bookshop, and he told me, choose the books you want. I took 10 John C. Maxwell, books on leadership. I took books on capacity. I took books on communication skills. I took biographies. During that COVID period, I read. My guy, I read.
All the books.
I read, man. I read. I wrote notes. I listened to sermons. That was my time to build. Reading schoolwork, reading this. Immediately I finished school, KCSE. 3 weeks later, I launched this book.
Wow.
And then after that, the speaking engagements now are packed.
Right.
And then I realized, now this is a stage of manifestation. Now manifestation needs character.
I like that.
That's now what he's talking. In preparation, you need psych. You need to psych up yourself.
Yeah.
You need God's presence to always tell you that keep going. In manifestation, now there is no keep going because you can see the results. Now that's why now you need character. You need to know when to retreat, and you need to know when to go. You need to know when to keep quiet and when to listen, because knowledge is knowing what to speak. Wisdom is knowing when to speak. And so now that one needs character. In elevation now, it needs consistency and raising other people who are in preparation.
Right.
So in purpose is a very divergent subject. People think that purpose is just something that you can wake up and find it. No, there's a question you've asked about. Now you've discovered your purpose. What else do you do? When you look at the principles of electricity, when a bulb is set on the ceiling, there are so many dynamics that go on for it to light up. One, that bulb needs wiring. 2, that bulb needs a socket to switch it on. Then 3, that bulb needs a hand. We can have all that, but we need a hand to press that socket for that bulb to light up.
Right.
Now, you always need the right wiring. The right wiring is the right people and the right systems. You need mentors. You need guys who have gone ahead of you just to sit down and listen. There are meetings I go and I don't speak. It's not that I don't have what to talk. No, I'm just here to listen. I'm just here to absorb. The meetings I go and I just tell that guy, pray for me. All I need is just this grace.
Do you go to places and you speak such wisdom and people think you're too young?
Yes.
They say, where would you maisha bana?
Yeah.
Yeah?
My
How do you
boss,
respond to that?
my boss told me, when you go to the corporate world, I was giving a speech at Fortune Circle, the board of directors. And these are guys who are in their 60s, 70s. And my boss told me, I don't want you to say your age first. I just want you to speak.
Wisdom.
So I was speaking about leadership and young people. Like right now, how can you connect with young people?
Right.
Because this is the target market, 19 million young people. This is a whole market. And I spoke for 2 hours, 45 minutes. And asked these guys, you have questions? And the first question they asked me, how old are you? And I told them I'm 19. And they told me, so how did you get here? And that's when I went back to the 844 thing. I told them 844 taught us that after doing all these things, go to university, get a job. But what did God intend? God intended that you're born. You see, how many hours are we in school? From 8 to 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah. So we've been taught that from 8 to 4, after that, what do? You rest.
Yeah.
But guys in China are not resting. In China, their study system, they study for 16 hours. That's why they're ahead of the economy. In India, they study for 14 hours. Then you go help your dad at work, in the business, in the shop.
Right.
So for me, I understood that, you see this thing from 8 to 4, after that, what do? These are purpose hours. For reading, for thinking through, having time with God, and having time with yourself.
That's right.
Yes.
Wow, I like this. Stephen, so we have had conversations about purpose and career, purpose vis-a-vis career. And some quarters it's been said that your purpose has to be attached to your career. And it has to be enjoyable. You have to enjoy what you do. Now that is purpose. How true is that?
Well, I am of a different school of thought.
All right.
Because I actually did a book for high school students, and in that book I actually took a whole chapter to talk about purpose. And I spoke to them about purpose, also helping them to choose the kind of career that is in line with purpose. Because you could be working, but you're out of purpose. You could be making money, but you're out of purpose.
Right.
Well, but what you're asking is so weighty and deep, because does it have to be enjoyable? I believe it is. Only that in the preparation season, it's not going to be enjoyable. It's not going to be in that way.
Most of the time it is, yeah.
By the way, there is nothing really enjoyable in life, and that is a principle in life God designed. Even when a woman is giving birth, it is not, the Bible says she is in labor, she is in pain. But the moment the child is born, she forgets.
Right, the pain.
In everything there is going to be pain. Without pain, no gain. And as the saying goes. So there will be moments, even if you are in your purpose, there are moments there will be painful moments. Jesus was in his purpose. But at some point he said, Lord, take this cup out. My Father, take away this cup from me. It was a painful moment. Right. We used to see him perform miracles during the day, but during the night he was alone on the mountain praying by himself. So they were painful moments. And I don't think there's any man or woman actually who can say that I'm in purpose and I'm just enjoying, having a good time, having fun.
And again, it's progressive.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that because you have discovered, you have attained, that's the end.
Yes.
It keeps growing.
Graduating, yes.
Graduating. And the more you graduate, the more you prepare.
The more you learn.
The more you learn.
Yes.
The more you prepare and learn, sometimes it's very painful.
In fact, let me say this, Anthony. In the course of my life, I've met with people who have mentored me and helped me to be the person that I am. And in me getting to know what I was born to do, I found people who asked me to do things that I thought I couldn't do. And I find, oh my God, how can they ask me to do this? This is so difficult. It was uncomfortable for me.
Right.
But I realized something. Every time you try to learn something, it's always going to look odd, weird, awkward. You feel awkward about it. But with time, the moment you learn how to do it, now you can enjoy it. Just go back to the first time you were trying. I don't know if you can recall how you learned to ride a bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
You almost gave up.
Oh, yes.
If you can recall how you learned
Kwanza zetu zilikuwa Black Mamba. Those are
yes. You fall so many times.
Yeah.
Now, go back and begin to think of how did you learn how to swim? The first time you jump into water, you almost scared. You were like, I don't.
Yeah.
How did you learn how to drive? I remember when I started learning to drive, the first time I bought my first car, it was a black car. So I would be driving down the streets of Nairobi, and I was sweating because of anxiety. I would see matatus on this side and on this side. And the mechanics would make fun of me. Hey, boss, bona. And I would tell them, unajua, physics says that black bodies absorb a lot of heat. That was anxiety. And I used to wonder, how do people enjoy driving? It's not enjoyable.
I know.
But today, I don't sweat. I actually can't even tell you that I'm conscious when I'm driving.
Very true.
Because you have learned that now. You've learned that.
There's a guy who was telling me there's a difference between clout versus greatness.
Clout versus
Yes.
greatness.
He told me clout is all about likes, greatness is all about lives. Clout is all about a moment, but greatness is progressive. What you've said about purpose being progressive, because purpose is linked so much to greatness. Because when you're in purpose, you'll be great. You'll not just have clout, you'll be great.
Right.
And so, purpose, you've asked, is it really enjoyable? You see, purpose is not a hobby. A hobby is so personal.
Purpose is not a hobby.
Yes, purpose is not a hobby. A hobby is personal. Purpose is visional. A hobby is so personal. It's all about me, you know. It's just about me coming to do some things. I'm right now I'm practicing violin, and it's very enjoyable. I find it fun. But you see, they say to lead yourself, use your head. To lead others, use your heart. Therefore, purpose, it's so much linked to people. It's people-based.
Right.
And leading people, it's not enjoyable, not at all. Because even for you, the job that you're doing, inspiring people, you have to look for people to come here and sit. There are guys who tell you no. The guys who ask you, quote ningapi. And you see, those challenges will always come because you're in purpose. And sometimes you'll feel like, is this thing really working? But because you can see the impact. So in purpose, you have to focus also on the impact,
Right.
not on the circumstances, because they say that circumstances are rulers of the weak, but instruments of the wise. Therefore, in purpose, you focus on the outcome. What you said about a woman, when a woman is screaming in the labor room, she focuses on the child, not even on the pain. Because there's something that is breaking forth.
Right.
Because within pain it's a gift by itself. It's a gift in disguise. Because I was being sent in different schools, there was something I was learning. You see, right now when I go to preach in high schools, sometimes I see the whole school get born again. Because for me, I speak in their language. It's not that I was good. I speak in the language they understand.
Right.
Because yes, I'm a good performer. But there is a way in which I can relate to some of the things you guys are doing. And I can tell them, I can address them from my own wounds. Because they say when you show men your medals, you intimidate them. But when you show them your wounds, you inspire them. Right. So sometimes there are wounds that will just come for God to reveal purpose, even not for you, but for the people you're supposed to impact.
That's true. As we come to the end of this, Stephen, so we have gifts and talents. Is it advisable that your gifts and talents tap into purpose? Say that again. Your gifts
And talents are pointers to what your purpose in life is all about.
Wow.
Yes. Because God gives you capacity. It's what God has gifted you with to
Right.
help you in that purpose. And so talents, the moment you discover that, I learned this so quick.
Right.
It takes people years to learn this, but for me it is so easy.
Yeah.
You can't even remember how you learned something. That's a gift. It's a talent. You're talented in a certain way. You get interested in things, or you get disgusted by certain things.
Yes.
So that's a pointer to what your purpose is in
I
life.
like that.
Yes.
Wow. So you need to know the pointers.
Yes.
Because that's already a beginning.
Yes.
That I really get disgusted with injustice.
Actually, that's a pointer. In
It's a
fact,
pointer.
I actually did an entire book on purpose called How to Home In on Your Purpose, and it's available as an e-copy on my website. I actually ask more than 8 or 7 questions someone need to ask themselves. And when the moment they answer those questions, now they have all the pointers showing them this is your purpose.
This is your direction. And you'll tell us about that book in just a bit. So BennyHinn, you're young, you're passionate, you have seen the challenges and the ills that this generation, is going through, especially when it comes to discovering purpose, wanting quick fixes.
Yes.
Microwave generation, let's do this, let's go out there. And we just had a conversation off camera. We say the young people nowadays are very confident, but the confidence can go, different directions. You
Yes.
can be confident rightfully, but you can also be confident in doing
The wrong things.
the wrong things.
Yes.
What do you say to, and you speak to a lot of young people, just say something to them as we talk about purpose.
I do think the reason is because, you see, when people who are not in purpose are basically, they feel empty. And therefore, what keeps them going is attention. So they always want that attention. And attention can be brought in so many ways. You see, someone who is in purpose, they don't have to shout that they are around. Their presence, there's an African proverb that says, a lion does not shout that it has passed. You see blood, and you find bones, and you know a lion has passed here. Fire does not have to shout that it is actually there.
Yeah.
You just see smoke and things have burnt, and you know fire was around.
Right.
Now, therefore, many young people, the problem is that they are not ready to go on that journey of purpose, but they want the results of purpose. You see, if someone goes to social media and
In
says,
fact, Benny,
yes,
in fact, as you talk about that, I'm thinking many people, and young people especially,
yes,
and even not just young, but many people, it is not purpose they are pursuing in life.
yes,
People have made the pursuit of money their purpose in life. People are thinking about money,
Money,
as
yes.
that is actually the purpose.
yes. So the results. If someone goes to social media and sees Anthony is getting 6K likes, and Anthony is going to places, they think Anthony just woke up the other day. So what do? I also go on social media, tells guys, niaje wase, don't give up. You see, so, and I'll do anything just to get there. Nikiona hii wase niaje wase work, I can post nudes.
I change my strategy.
Yes, I can go to sherehe na post na nikuwe na post consistently.
Yeah.
You see, people are also consistent in mediocrity, and it's working. People are also consistent in mediocrity.
I mean, working
You can be
is very
consistently
relative.
mediocre also. Yes,
Yes.
because it's a principle.
Right.
Hard work is a principle. I can be hardworking as a criminal, and I'll get good results.
That's true.
Yeah, so hard work, it's a principle that God placed there. It doesn't matter what you do, but as long as you're hardworking in it, if I'll be hardworking at mediocrity, it will produce results.
It's a principle of
yes,
sowing.
exactly,
And reaping.
exactly.
So when you sow bad things, you reap better bad things.
So many people, it's just a problem of one thing. It's pride. Nobody's willing to submit and listen. People think they know. Because mentorship takes humility. That you sit there and you're told you don't know anything. Let me teach you. They say that the failure of pride and the failure of success is pride. The success of failure is humility. The failure of success is pride, but the success of failure is humility. Many people are chasing so much success. So therefore, pride is already inside subconsciously. Therefore, no one can just go and sit down and say, you know what, I don't know anything. Just teach me. Many people go on social media, they watch 4 clips, 5 clips. They see what people are doing.
Yeah.
They try and go and copycat. They see it's not working. They now have to switch and say that God is not working in their lives, or God this thing is not doing it. So they have to do something that will bring attention, not cause vision.
Wow. How do we cure this disease? And new media has created, it has its benefits, amazing, but it's also created another terrible disease.
You remember what we were talking earlier before we started, and how foolishness has become the new wisdom.
Yeah.
Everybody can go on the social media and, like you say, come up with something, whatever it is, as long as it is attracting some followership and they feel relevant. I think it has got to be deeper than that. There's something you mentioned, Benny, that is so deep about purpose has nothing to do with you. God did not create you for you.
Come on.
He created you for others.
Wow.
And it is not about how much money. Do you know, I go to places, every time I'm invited to speak in a church, I am always asked, so how much should we pay you? And I say, in a church you're asking me to pay you? I say, no, I do not charge a fee to go preach, speak in a church. I go to minister. I make money when I'm in the business world, in the corporate world, when I need to train them. So we need to focus. We need to shift the focus. It's not about what you can get. It's about what you can give. Because life is not about what you get. It's about donations. It's about what you give.
Yeah,
and you don't have to be paid to give what God has given you to do. If you can just do what God meant for you to do, you don't even have to be thinking about how much am I going to get out, because God is. Let me tell you, purpose has got some other elements that are so key. A place. There's a particular place where purpose will thrive. And a position. God gives you certain dimension in which that purpose is able to influence. Adam
Right.
was put in a place called Eden, a particular place, not all over the earth, a particular place. And he was given a position of ruler. He was the ruler of that place. Then he required presence, God's presence. You cannot function without God's presence. That's why there are some people, yes, who could be in purpose, but they don't have the presence of God in their lives. But when you are working in God's place, God's position, in his presence, he makes sure that he gives you the provision. That's why I'm saying
Place, position. You just summarize that.
yes, place, position, and presence, and
Right.
provision. So when you are in line with those things, then you don't have to think about money. How much money will I make? Because that's what many people are focusing on. What can I get?
Right.
What am I getting?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that motivation kills
Yes.
the entire essence of what can I give?
Yes.
Because you're always thinking about what do I receive?
Yes.
That's why I always have to have a tag to my purpose. And I don't think that is what God
He has said,
created.
there's something this guy has said, it's made me crazy, man.
Yeah.
Place, presence, position, and provision.
Yeah.
Last one I just got is people.
Wow.
That's the last P, people. You see, if you're not a people's person, you won't exercise purpose. You have to relate with people.
Right.
You have to go down so that you can be able now to raise other people. Yeah, if you are up there, you can't raise other people.
Right. You have
So
to
always,
come.
You always have to come down.
To the level.
Yes.
And that's humility.
Yes.
Right there. Hey, Steve, thank you so much. I think it's been very profound. You mentioned about some of the books you've done. I
I've
think-
actually done 18 books.
Wow.
18.
1/8.
Yes.
And those books, I'm sure, came out of a very, not an easy place, tough place.
Of course, that's what happens. But funny enough, when it's just like you,
Yeah.
I don't think you're struggling to do this show. I mean, you're just flowing. I mean, you're enjoying it.
That's
But of course, there is planning to do with it.
Yeah.
You have taken time to do that. That's what happens. People ask me, how do you write so many books? And I'm like, every day I'm writing something. You'll always find me with a notebook everywhere I am. I write notes, thoughts that inspiration that comes to my mind. I put them, I stitch them together, and by the end of the year, I actually sort of have been producing a book
Wow.
every year.
Wow.
So, and many of these books are available even on my website.
All right.
So
So just share with us your website,
it's mskigwa.com.
mskigwa.com.
Yes.
So check it out. I mean, you'll be able to find whichever book, and quite a number of books on purpose as well.
Yes, yes. Actually, all my books are centered on the 5 major questions I talked about. I'm
Right.
always trying to help people answer those questions.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much for making time to be here with us and sharing, very powerful thoughts on purpose and also mentoring. You see, he's been able to draw quite a bit from you as well.
Yes.
BennyHinn,
Yeah.
thank you. How do we find you on social media and other platforms?
On social media, my Instagram handle is BennyHinn_Walubengo on all social media platforms.
BennyHinn?
Underscore.
Is BennyHinn one word?
Yes.
BennyHinn
Underscore
Walubengo.
Yes, on all social media platforms.
All
then
right.
YouTube, Voice of Benny Bengo.
Okay.
Then I have a website, BennyHinnWalubengo.wordpress.com.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I have a public number that I give in case you want to
All
order
right. No,
this.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
This copy of the book.
All right.
0775 976 643.
Yeah.
0775 976 643.
All right.
Yeah.
So, very profound. How many P's? We have one more P.
5 now. it
5
says.
now, yeah. So 5 P's. Just take that again.
It was place, it was position, God's presence, provision, and he added people.
He added people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tumalizie na kika moja moja, kakwotu tu kamoto kama.
Twende na quote.
Very short one. It says, life is like Nike, just do it.
Wow, I like that. Life is like Nike.
Just do it.
Just do it. Any final thoughts?
I would simply let me give a quote like Ignatius. Let me try to talk about and mine, you find it in one of my books, actually, a book called Fruitful and Quote Life. People
Yes.
who know you don't know you yet.
Wow. People who know you,
Don't know you yet.
amazing. That's great. Can I also give a quote?
Yes, that be
Oh my goodness. Let me create one. Right. I think purpose is not is not so much about the likes, the double taps, the retweets. It's about the bigger picture of what God blessed in you. Si ni hiyo ni quote?
Angusha kicaption leo.
Hata mimi naweza kuwa. All right, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great. I hope you've been able to learn something about purpose, and it can go a long way to be a blessing to you. Think about the bigger picture. Don't think about the money that comes now. Think about the bigger picture, right? And please go to their links, and you'll get a lot of material that will be of help to you. Until next Sunday, we'll have another hot potato conversation. We are at the 4 Points by Sheraton in Hurlingham. Check it out. You will love a lot of things that they offer right here. It's in Hurlingham. Till next Sunday, thank you very much for joining us. God bless you, and have a beautiful rest of your Sunday.
Enjoy the 4-star experience at 4 Points by Sheraton in Hurlingham. They offer the ultimate Kenyan experience, hospitality and comfort. Get to experience authentic flavors and a variety of international cuisines offered at Pablo's and Mez restaurants. They have a state-of-the-art conference facility and a total of 96 guest rooms and suites that have everything you need for a great stay. The rooms are equipped with wireless high-speed internet access, a productive working space with a large desk and a comfortable chair, signature comfort bed, and a 49-inch flat screen with satellite television for a great rest and entertainment. All rooms feature a minibar and gourmet coffee maker where you can enjoy a drink and admire picturesque city views through double pane and soundproof windows. With sweeping views of the Nairobi skyline, swim in the heated rooftop pool or get to enjoy a drink at Level 8 Lounge and Bar, the perfect place to relax after work. 4 Points by Sheraton, the ultimate 4-star experience.